Thank you for watching today's episode of the Guys Afternoon In podcast. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe, and turn on your notifications for further updates. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Yee!
I got pulled over the other day for speeding. I was doing 50 and 35. And for the first time in my life, I met like a really cool cop. Like, he was super cool. He came up and he was like, he let me know right off the bat. He was like, hey man, he didn't ask, do you know why I pulled you over? And I was hoping he was gonna, because I was gonna be like, man, I bet I was speeding. But he was like, reason I pulled you over is because of speeding. I was like, yeah, I was hitting 50 around that curve. And then he's like, yeah, speed limit's 35. I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, if everything checks out here, you know, it's just gonna be a warning. So it's never happened to me before. No cop has ever prefaced everything by like, okay, this is just gonna be a warning. I was like, oh, I can say anything.
And it's all because you're white. So, Chad, do you want to follow up on that?
I saw him pulling over someone in the exact same spot on my way here.
Nice.
Chad, tell. Have you talked about the time you got pulled over in Lil Blue?
Are we going?
Yeah,
we're
all.
Oh, I didn't hear anybody say go.
We all clapped.
We
all
clapped.
You hit that one, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're all going. Talk about that time you got pulled over in Lil Blue, and he said.
Dude, do you have a picture of Lil Blue?
I don't.
Can you find one?
I don't think so.
You know what kind of truck it was.
We gotta put it up.
Yeah.
No, you gotta put up a picture
I'll
of
see
Lil
if I can
Blue.
find one.
Ranger? Was it a Ranger?
Yeah, it was a 95 little like 5-speed, I think, Ranger. Rear wheel drive, crank windows, real luxurious.
Yeah. My dad had a 95. It was forest green. A spider made him run off the road and total it.
A spider? Was a big spider?
In the cab.
Yeah, no, it came down like out of the corner of his eye, and he went to hit it. And when he went to hit it, his steering wheel went to the
I
left.
thought he saw a spider crossing. I was like, this has been a big spider.
The truck was light blue, and the license plate that Marty got for it, because it was his and then it was mine, was Lil Blue.
Okay.
And so that did just.
Granted, this truck was in rough shape the entire time we knew Chad.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you know, okay.
Yeah. Was it worse than the
continue
Blazer? Was it worse than the Blazer?
No, Blazer was much worse.
No.
Hey, are you gonna finish the story?
Yeah, I'm trying to get to Shut up!
Already.
Shut your mouth and let me tell the story. Every time I try and tell a story, he has to butt in with something somewhere.
I mean,
let me tell the story.
To be fair, you came in this room and was like, I'm going to piss Evan off real quick.
Yeah, that did happen. I was like, oh, outfit
hey,
again.
No,
really?
I'm sorry. It just, you were pausing forever. I thought you thought.
He started speaking.
Okay, just go on.
This is unreal. This is unreal, right?
Genuinely embarrassing.
This is unreal.
Both of you are embarrassing. Tell the story.
Train wreck out of the start, dude.
So, I'm heading home from school. I'm on the interstate. I get it up to its top speed, which is the speed limit, like 70. And next thing I know, I see blue lights behind me, and I had that there was about a 20-second window where I was like, "Is that for me?" And I kind of just kept going, but then I was like, "Okay." So I pulled over. And he's still right behind me. I was like, that's for me. And he comes up, and he's like, do you know why I pulled you over? And I was like, no. He's like, I caught you going 89 and a 70. And I was like, what? I told him, I was like, this thing doesn't go 70. And I was kind of laughing. And I look at him, and he's like, and I go, anyway, took my license and stuff. And then he wrote me a ticket for that.
I can't believe
which
that.
Chad went to court for.
Yeah, because I couldn't just call. I couldn't just call. They said I had to come in, and it was over $300.
And what did you tell the judge?
I told the judge that it won't go 89, and I also offered for the judge to come drive it, but he respectfully declined and preferred to take my money. So
I fought a ticket once because they said I was driving recklessly, and I tried to pass somebody in a no passing lane. But I don't know how he thought that, because I was in an 84 B2000, like the Mazda version of the same truck, basically. And I was behind a huge jacked up truck. I couldn't see around, and he was going 45 in a 55 on a country road. And so I put my blinker on in a passing zone, got over to see around him, and there was a cop coming straight at me. So I swerved back over, and I waited. Cop turns around and pulls me over and pulls me out of the vehicle, searches the vehicle, and myself because I guess I looked like a pothead.
When was this?
10 years ago.
So it wasn't bearded Charlie?
No, this was
long-haired,
bare-faced, long-haired, long bleached and purple hair. Charlie.
I would have pulled you out of the car too.
Sir, do you know why?
Purple skinny jeans from Hot Topic.
Yeah.
And so he wrote me a ticket for reckless driving and speeding. And so I took it to court and I fought it and I lost because the cop said I was going the opposite direction than what I really was going. So if I was going the opposite direction, yeah, I'm in a no passing zone because I had going the direction I was going. I had the dotted lines, but he said I was going the opposite direction and the judge cut the ticket in half. In half? Yeah.
How do you even beat a cop in court? I feel like that doesn't happen a lot.
Well, and it was the cops, the guy that pulled me out to search me, it was his first day out in the field because his superior was in the passenger seat, which was a guy I went to church with, and he didn't show his face at court. I'm like, come on, man.
Oh, man.
Come on, Eugene.
You were like, listen, you can prove I was driving recklessly, but you can't prove I was speeding.
Exactly.
You were driving towards me.
Exactly. Dude,
I could have been stopped.
They have the speedometer thing for that.
Yeah, on the front of the car.
Yeah, that can tell how fast. If they're driving this way and a car's going this way, it tells them how fast it is.
Do they have that here though?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty standard. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
There's a whole cop has a channel on all social media. A whole cop.
It's a whole white baby, bro.
Look, you guys wouldn't let me go with time age. I wasn't gonna let that go. Okay.
A whole cop. He has a page just about things he does during the day on TikTok, and he shows his little speedometer thing, driving towards people and them slowing down. And he had one dude. Chad, you told me something a year ago, 9 months ago, 6 months. I don't know, but you told me that basically your brother Marty told you that whenever you see a cop, they've already seen you and already know how fast you're going.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you told me. And this guy, he's got a video. He's facing this way, and he's taking a video in his rear view mirror. Mm-hmm. And there's a car way the crap back, dude, way crap. And he's got his speed right there, way crap. He's got his speed already right there. And then the guy starts getting close, and he flashes his lights, and the dude slows down. But the point of that story is that the dude was quarter mile, half a mile away, and he was already getting his speed.
Yeah, basically the rule is if you can see them, they know how fast you're going.
Dang.
Yeah, that's why when I got pulled over the other day, I rounded that corner, I saw him, I was like, it's game over.
Nah, dude, he doesn't know that you got a Hemi.
I always if that ever happens to me, I don't ever slow down and start going the speed limit.
Nah, dude, you've been had. You might as well keep going that way.
No, I feel like that looks even more suspicious.
You might even get away. Who knows?
Yeah, in fact, we got to an area that was it went 45, 35, 45, then back to 35. I was going 42. I was I'm gonna be realistic for this cop. He knows I'm not gonna go 35. So
I called for new auto insurance, and they ask do you have any tickets or any accidents on your record? And there's a few things both me and Lauren had on our record that is right, because she asked specifically, do you have any tickets in the last 3 years or any accidents? And I said no, because I know I haven't had any tickets in the last 3 years. But then she pulled, oh, you had one 5 years ago. I'm like, you didn't ask about 5 years ago. You asked about 3. That shouldn't be on my record, but apparently it's still coming up. And then Lauren got is it rear-ended? No, she didn't get rear-ended. Somebody pulled out at a stop sign but couldn't go, so they backed back up into her.
She got front-ended.
Front-ended with their back end, I guess so.
Obviously.
And I guess that was on the record too, but it was no fault. But it almost felt like a trap when she asked me that, and then I said no, and then she came up with these. I'm like,
ooh.
She's like, She's one of those people. So it's they already know what the truth is, but they want to hear your answer.
Yeah.
Just to. Yeah. So.
It's reverse psychology. All right. So apparently, Chad's got a story to tell.
Well, okay. So I was at work. I tried to drive to Slim's because I wanted some Slim's for lunch, and I get to Slim's right down the road, and the line is super long. I would not have made it to the line in time. So I was like, okay, because we only get 30 minutes for lunch at Macadoodles.
Gosh.
Sorry, the liquor store. Beep. And so I turn around, I come back and I'm like, okay, I have enough time to just like go to the Mickey D's across the street. I'll go over there. I'll get just whatever, not the Travis Scott burger. So I go through the drive-through. I get through. I eat really fast. I get back in. I have my Diet Dr. Pepper. I set it on the back counter. I do some stuff. I come back. I take a sip, and it's tea. And I immediately just go to the trash can, spit it out because I don't like tea. And also, I don't know whose this is. And so I look at another employee, and I go, "Is this whose is this?" And he goes, "Oh, that's so and so's," which is somebody who, I don't know how to say this like politely. They're the kind of person like, you know, like you hear them talking and they're like, "Oh yeah, my damn kids did so and so. Oh my stupid kids," like that kind of person.
Always talking
like,
about child support. And
yeah, and like government assistance, that kind of like stuff. I don't know, like just not kind of trashy as a person.
White trash.
And
Crackhead.
And so I set it down, I split it out, and I was just thinking about how my mouth was on the same straw as them. And I just thought, I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to throw up. And then I threw up.
No! What?
And all the Mickey D's that I just had, that like $7 Mickey D's meal.
The whole saga.
Wasted.
The whole break wasted.
Bro, you never like, I've never heard a story where someone's like, "Oh man, I could throw up at that," and like actually do it. That's awesome.
Like I came out and like my eyes were like,
What'd you do?
down.
Oh, I drank after her. I don't know. Drank after her.
I just imagine you in the bathroom, like the Family Guy Ipecac scene.
Yeah.
Just
They all drink the bottle. He's like, "No more, no more."
So I was. Go on, Chad, if you got something.
well, I was gonna say like he told me whose it was, and I just went. I just walked away and went into the bathroom, into the probably the grossest. Just like it's like a gas station bathroom, basically. It's gross. And yeah.
Public restroom?
I've never thrown up in a public
I
restroom.
don't think I have either.
neither.
I've thrown up in public.
I was also thinking about like, what if somebody had come in while he threw that out there and was like, like I was thinking about like, what if I'm in there like throwing up and somebody walks in and they just kind of leave.
And then they wait, and you come out, you're in your employee uniform, and they're like, check, please.
So that was, I had a different story I was gonna tell. I'll tell them in a bit, but that reminds me, like when I was little, I went to like my first like away for just the day, like little camp thing when I was like 5. And you know, you go spend the day, play games. I don't remember what it was. All I remember is it was hot. I played games a lot in Louisiana. It was 100% humidity, and so I got so worked up and so hot that I was getting a headache when you get like dehydrated and all that. So I was literally, they had like a big, I don't know what you call it, like gazebo kind of thing with like concrete floors and everything. And I'm laying down there. All the kids were all inside. There's a fan blowing. I'm like laying, like everyone's just sitting down, and I don't know any of these kids, so I just go like kind of up to the side, and I just lay down on the ground like this, like literally just like dying, and then like I'm just sitting there, my own business. I just turn over. I'm like, ah, just like all over these kids at the ground, dude.
Oh.
Wait, like on them?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh no.
But I'm just wondering how it looks like to like.
That's your beverage.
Are
Are you not gonna
drink.
do anything about it?
Where is it?
It's on the couch, you dumb.
What
So-
were we even talking about? I was gonna. Oh yeah, I also went to one of those camps when I was a kid. I went to Camp Rainbow in St. Louis, and they had. I didn't ever want to participate in anything, and I don't know why. I was like 3, but like they had craft time, and I wouldn't do craft time because it was like next to the gym, and I could play hockey in the gym, so I just played hockey, and I wouldn't swim in the pool when it was pool time. But one day it was like shaving cream fight day, and my mom came to pick me up, and I just like ran up to her like covered head to toe in shaving cream and wearing some other kid's clothes.
All right.
And she like straight up did not recognize me. I like ran up and I was like, "Hi, I'm having a good time," or whatever. And she was like, "All right, yeah, cool." And then she was like, "That's my son. That's my child."
Nice.
So, Will, I want to bring up something here. So, a few episodes back, we were talking about, when we've kind of already discussed this off camera, but I'm bringing it up on camera. We discussed about how you didn't like me in high school. And then I had an epiphany, and we remembered why.
I had a periphery.
Because me and Will... What'd you say?
I said an apostrophe.
He said periphery.
Like we both corrected you with incorrect words.
Anyway, I remembered. So, right after I got out of high school, and while Will was in high school, we were dating. He was dating this girl, I was dating another girl, and they were pretty good friends.
Best friends.
Yeah, at the time. And, man, I don't want to... It's like, I don't want to say her name, but it only makes sense if I can say her name.
Just say it and I'll bleep it.
Yeah, it won't make sense. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so, her name and, one day I was just, like, making a play on her words, like saying batty, waddy, and then I said fatty. Okay, and then as soon as I said it, I was like, ooh, I was like, that wasn't good. I was like, I'm sorry, didn't mean to, I said, make it like I was calling you fat, because I didn't mean for that. And I guess it upset her.
PH.
It
right?
upset her.
Yeah, right.
And she went and told Will.
Immediately. It was just like, I'm just like really upset because like Evan called me fat. Oh, sorry. And didn't say anything about it. And then I was like, okay, I'll say something
Which
to
I
him.
very clearly did not call her fat.
And a part of me was like, that probably didn't happen. Like even then I was like, that probably didn't happen.
And so Will comes up to me. Granted, at this time, this moment in time, I barely know Will. Like, me and Will really became friends through this relationship.
We had been in band together for a year.
Yeah.
And that was...
Yeah, we never spoke to each other.
I mean, a 400-person band, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Will just comes up to me not really knowing him, puts his arm around me, and he was like, hey. And I don't remember what you said, but basically he was like, don't call girls fat, or something like that.
Yeah,
and
probably something like that.
I was like, oh, dude, I was like, it wasn't like that. And I assumed you, right now, I'm just now realizing that you didn't know the whole story. I didn't know she was just like, he called me fat.
Yeah.
I assumed she would have at least given you some context.
Nope.
Yeah, I assumed he, in my mind, I thought Will was being unreasonable because I thought he had all the details. And I was like, why would you come get on to me knowing that I did not mean that?
Yeah.
And so from there on, me and Will were at odds. And then it came to a boiling point whenever we were going to homecoming. So my girlfriend wanted me to take her to homecoming.
This is
the dumbest thing.
Dumb.
And
do I even know this story?
You might.
There's nothing to know. That's how dumb it is.
Well, I feel like he was in our group.
You were. Yeah, I don't think you were involved in planning it.
Literally everyone else except my girlfriend wanted to take pictures at Fellowship, right?
Mm-hmm.
At Fellowship before homecoming. Like, we had a group of like 10 people going, ourselves included. 9 of them wanted to take them there.
And we were going dinner 5 minutes away from
Yeah,
there.
like right over there.
Yeah.
And she, for some reason, had something happen that she didn't like Fellowship anymore. Like, she stopped going there. Her family stopped going there.
I know what it is. I don't want to
feel like I know
out
what
anybody,
it is too.
But I'm only going to say it because it's stupid. Somebody who didn't work there, wasn't a staff member there, was like a volunteer student leader there, didn't take her depression seriously enough when she was in like 8th grade. That's why she didn't want to go take pictures at the garden.
Oh. Wow, I didn't know that. All right. So she didn't want to step on the campus of Fellowship. And so, you know, and this really shows how boyfriends, whatever, really will just take their girlfriend's side for no reason. Because, like, at the time, I was like, she was like, I don't want to take pictures there and blah, blah, blah. And so, literally everyone was getting mad at her. And then me and Will, again, I don't remember the details. This was probably 7 years ago.
I literally don't remember this. I don't know what you're about to say.
Well, I just remember we were all in a group text, and then you and I were like getting mad at each other, like
yeah,
over
that probably
this.
happened.
Yeah.
I fought a lot of people in group text.
Yeah.
I did do that.
And we were just in a big argument about it, and then we just ended up taking pictures there anyway. And that was kind of what happened to me and Will. That's why Will didn't like me.
Well, I think I kind of was like, well, me and the girl I'm dating, we're going.
Yeah.
And then
everyone else was going.
I'm going, so Chad's gonna go there. And then me and Chad are going, so JT's gonna go. So y'all can just go take pictures on your own.
I remember being
I think
kind
that's
of
how it
upset.
ended up.
No, we went. We went.
No, yeah, I know you came with, but
yeah.
I was like, I think you came with because everybody was kind of like, that's dumb, we're going.
Yeah, yeah. And I remember being a little peeved at her because I was like, we're literally gonna like go on our own and like do nothing if we want to go with these people. So we caved.
So
that sucked. All of that sucked.
I know someone you went to college with. Just found out a couple weeks ago. He was actually our second drummer.
Do I know them?
I mean, he knows you. Zane.
Zane Herod?
Yeah. Yeah, he was our second drummer.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I never talked to him a lot, but
he knew you.
I know who he is, yeah.
Yeah.
Weird
there was
fella.
nothing to that story.
Weird fella.
Dead air.
One thing I realized... I'll tell you one thing about being in college.
It was a waste.
Like, I mean, from obviously I don't have a degree, so yes. Like, I love music. I still love music. I love playing drums and all that kind of stuff. But I may have said this before, but I literally hate everyone else that likes music, almost. I mean, like, obviously we're all cool, but like in like band settings, like I can't stand anyone. Like usually there's a handful of people on like the drum line or in percussion that feel kind of the same way.
Yeah.
And we all hate everyone else. And then
I have a funny story before you change topics.
yeah, let's hear it.
We were at Unsilent Night that one time. Do you remember that? Did you come to that?
Yeah.
Okay. And we were at that table because Shane Blay and Micah Kennard were selling the O Sleeper merch. And I was like... And so I see you're talking to them and like this guy next to you. And so I come up and I'm like, I buy some stuff from them. I'm like talking to them. I have them sign some stuff and look over. I'm like, who's this nerd talking to Chad? It was Kirby from Finberg King. I was like,
did he have his glasses on?
Yeah.
He looks like a huge nerd with his glasses
it's like,
on.
who's this
So have
dork?
you guys ever
Who's the Melvin?
so
And now I realized that, like, I started listening to them like 3 years after that. I was like, this music is brutal. And I'm like, I met that guy.
So, I don't know why that brings us up. I mean, I guess it makes sense why, but, like, I feel like in our own bubble, like, we all think, like, we're pretty cool, like, chill guys, you know? Not, like, super cool, but, you know. And then, like, as soon as you meet, like, a musician or semi-famous person, you know, you're like, oh, my God. You, like, get all, like, super, like, frilly and girly about it. You're like, oh, my God.
See, okay,
I've seen him like 4 times, and every time I'm like...
Like, in here, we're like, yeah,
Yeah.
cool, man. And then we're like, oh, my God.
See, I feel
You
like
know who's really not cool about Shane Blay and Micah Kennard? My dad. He's like the biggest fangirl.
Oh, yeah.
I have a picture of my dad and Micah Kennard, and my dad's like,
I remember that.
I'll
His
see if
dad
I can
would always
find
go
it.
with us to metal.
Yeah.
yeah, dude, he loves it.
My dad would go with us.
He would be like the
He never
facilitator.
really into
Yeah.
metal, but
He would like. I remember we were watching Beartooth at South by, and that
cra-
was to this day was probably one of the craziest like just
I think
blobs of people. I've
I think
ever
I
been.
got a concussion.
Yeah, it was
because
rough.
that guy ran and jumped and kneed me in the back of the head,
Oh, yeah, dude.
and I don't remember the rest of the show.
nice.
The Chris stance.
Those are the best.
The Chris stance. We yeah.
And that's what I was getting at. Like we were in all of this stuff going on, and Will's dad's just like
Vibing his own.
helping us out, like keeping people back, and like
It's great.
So I feel like I play it pretty cool when I meet somebody. Like for example, we played that show here with Rival Choir and Left Behind, which Alex Camarana was
James
playing
Cameron.
with Left Behind, and so I met Alex.
Left Behind? No, it wasn't Left Behind.
Yes.
At
No.
Nomads? No. Left Behind opened for Fit.
No, it was
and
that
Norma
other
Jean.
band. I was there. Though.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
I was there for this show.
This-
Whatever.
Left
it is.
Behind. Nothing left.
Nothing left.
That's who it
Yes.
is. No, yeah, Left Behind
It's
was.
Left Behind.
That's my bad. Yeah,
It's a Kirk
nothing.
Cameron movie.
Is Left Behind The band where they do the white face paint?
No.
No.
That's Human Experiment.
Yeah. How did you know who I was talking about?
I was locked in right there.
I'm looking it
Yeah,
up.
not Left Behind, Nothing Left.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah, and Alex Camarano is one of my favorite drummers, and I felt like I introduced myself. I shook his hand. I was
The way
like, yeah,
you just said it right there, though. One of my favorite drummers.
Yeah.
That's how you just said it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, you just
Yeah, that's the
fangirled
thing.
a little bit.
but
There's-
not like to him.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
No, I said I didn't.
Okay.
Wait, what? What's worse, doing it
You
in
said
front
you're
of them?
fangirling and he's not even around.
It's
That's what
okay
I'm
to
getting at.
fangirl. That's what we're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but I'm
holding
saying-
it together in person is the challenge.
Yeah, like
You
I
can
said, like I
fangirl
try and
when
like
he's
play
not here.
like I try not to be like anybody else. Like
You're
you know, like
thanks, man. It's nice to meet you.
Well, that's like, there's really only one band that I've ever like fangirled hard over, and it's The Wedding.
Here we
and
go.
hardly anybody else knows about them. Yeah, but so much so, like I actually worked with the lead singer at UPS for a little bit, and I ended up being able to get him to play piano and sing at our wedding, and that was a huge
The wedding.
at
At
the
your
wedding.
wedding. Wow.
Yep. But yeah, those guys, I have a hard time keeping it together around those guys. And
I
they're
never-
not
I
even
never knew
huge.
them.
Yeah, they're not even huge. They're a
They're
local
not
band.
together anymore, are they? Or are
No.
they back together?
No,
Okay.
they're not together anymore.
I
They
don't
played the
think
last show 2 years ago.
we were at that.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a reunion show though?
Yeah,
I was gonna
it was
say.
a 10th
Hey, it was
anniversary
freaking
show.
full, dude. A lot of
Both
people were there.
nights at
Isn't
Media.
that crazy that like a local band has so much popularity around here? Like, there's a ton of local bands, but like,
The timing was just right for them.
yeah.
I feel like it's weird how a lot of bands are like tied together in some way or another. Like,
Who are we all tied to?
well, like The Wedding.
Us? Did you ask who we're tied to?
Yeah, VOD.
Who's
Who's the guy that filled in for y'all on drums
on drums?
when you weren't there?
Silverside.
yeah,
Nate.
Silverside. I think that's
from
the one.
Silverside. Fight the
Silverstein.
Fade.
Fight the Fade's another
Yeah,
one too.
another
yeah.
one that. Yeah.
This is great content.
But well, you have like The Wedding, so they toured a lot with the Overseer, and a guy named Abishai was playing for them, and then
Yeah.
Abishai was playing for The Wedding for a while, and then he plays for Wolves at the Gate, and the old drummer for Wolves at the Gate plays for. Is it something Flames?
Abishai?
No.
Oh, am I getting that one mixed
yeah,
up?
that you're getting that mixed up. Joe Rickard played for The Wedding.
And Joe
then-
Rogan played for the funeral.
And then Joe
would be the
Rickard went on to
divorce,
play
right?
for Red, and then In Flames.
Oh, okay.
Not Abishai. Sorry.
But
Abishai.
This is literally like secret code language. If somebody
I was gonna say,
tapped
no.
in to your microphone right now, they would think they intercepted like Russian code
Oh
talkers.
yeah.
This is Abishai.
it's a cool name.
He's a
It's
barber.
all right.
He's a barber in Nashville.
where do
and
you
he
get
plays drums
Abishai?
Huh?
Where do you get that name?
Is it a
It's
Christian
a
band?
Biblical.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
Oh,
probably
is it?
Greek for
Yeah.
something.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a biblical name, and it is a Christian band.
Jesus.
They were Wolves at the Gate. Is a Christian band.
We did it, Christians.
That's like Chad. What's the first verse in the Bible? And God said, "Let there be Coors Banquet."
what day did God make light on? It's like maybe the first one. Maybe the first thing that ever
That
happened.
literal first verse. In the
No.
beginning.
Before that, there were the dinosaurs. Okay,
But before light, they were all in the dark the whole time.
this is facts.
Before
Okay, they
light.
all had. They had freaking night vision goggles on all
They
the
just couldn't
time.
find the light switch.
Have you guys seen the guy that thinks there's dinosaurs in the Bible?
There are.
Ken Ham.
So this guy, yes,
Ken Ham.
Ken Ham,
Yeah.
yeah.
He built the ark
Yeah,
and it
in
flooded
That's
and
ironic.
like destroyed it.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
You see,
That's
I didn't
ironic.
know. At first, I was saying Ken Ham. I was like,
Yeah, Ken
Ham.
Ham.
Ken Ham, yeah.
Ken Ham.
He talked about it, dude. So
Spam.
this is the. He was in church. He was in. So my.
I
pastor-
saw him live.
Yeah, my pastor
too.
said.
I
He
saw
said,
him a
"Look
few
this."
times live.
He said, "Look this guy up." He said, "It's kind of interesting, but it's a little weird." He said, "This guy thinks there's dinosaurs in the Bible." I looked it up, and this guy is giving a little
Do we
seminar.
disagree?
No, hold on. Just wait a second. Wait a second.
wait.
Wait, we'll get to that. Okay, just hold on. So there's like a seminar he's giving, like in a church to a church at a church service. So yeah, it's a literal church service that's going on. And
Oh,
then
okay.
he opens it up, dude. The first 10 seconds that he's talking about, he's trying to be funny, and he's talking about National Geographic. He's like National Pornographic. I was like, I was like at a church. Why would you do that?
How many people laughed?
No one, dude.
I would have busted up.
He's like National Pornographic.
And then the worst, again, we were talking about this a few weeks ago, when he say a joke and it just doesn't land at all.
So it was like, he's only weird because like the only thing he knows about the Bible is where the dinosaurs might be in the Bible. It's like, there's like one verse where they talk about a creature with a tail like a cedar tree.
Yeah.
And that's like the crux of everything he thinks about dinosaurs in the Bible.
That is the extent.
Well, and I think like when the Bible talks about like the Leviathan, they're probably talking about a dinosaur. Like that's a dinosaur-like creature.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's plenty of other places.
That's Nessie, dude.
But it's like the Bible doesn't talk about penguins either. It doesn't mean they're not around. That's the whole thing. People are
have you
like,
ever seen a penguin?
Christians are like, there's no dinosaurs in the Bible. It doesn't say it.
There's so many animals
Have you
that are
ever
around
seen
that
a
aren't
penguin?
Like
listed.
100 times.
I'm calling
penguin?
bullcrap.
A penguin?
I've
They
seen
may not
penguins.
exist.
I've
At the
seen
zoo.
puffins.
I've never seen
Actually,
a puffin,
so-
dude. That's not real.
Side note: the guy apparently is a different guy. So you said Ken Ham, that rang a bell. This guy's name's Kent Hovind.
Oh, it's not the same guy.
Not the
Ken
same
Ham
guy.
is the dinosaur
He's the guy
guy.
that debated Bill Nye.
Ken Ham.
Ken Ham is yes. Ken Ham
Yes.
is the Bill
Kent
Nye guy.
Hovind's a dinosaur
And
guy
that was
too, though.
that was.
Oh, that's weird.
miserable
There's
for both
two
of them.
Christian dinosaur guys, and
Yeah.
they're not the same guy.
Both named Ken.
They-
and
I remember being at school and a teacher pulled up an article, I guess, because she... This was an oral comm class. It had nothing to do with what was happening. But she pulled up an article because she thought it was interesting about how there was a discovery that, like, there were, like, some stone tablets from thousands of years ago or whatever that depicted people on top of dinosaurs, which suggests the idea that there was, at some point, a coexistence.
Dino Riders.
so hold on. So do we think that there are dinosaurs in the Bible?
Are there penguins in the Bible?
So Charlie seems
what
to
we
be
were
adamant
just
that
saying.
there is. I heard y'all saying that.
Well,
I'm just
No,
saying,
I mean just along the same lines about the scripture about
Okay,
the,
well, you
the
just seem
animals
so- you
saying.
seem so passionate
Well, I
about it.
thought you were like very.
It
against
doesn't
the fact
say
that
it.
They weren't
They're not there. The devil put the fossils in the ground to mislead us.
So this guy is saying, the guy that I thought you were talking about, he says that, like, God made the earth, and then, like, there was all the characters, Adam and Eve, and then all them, and then by the time he gets to Noah, like, from that whole time span is where the dinosaurs were.
Yeah.
Post or pre-Noah?
Pre.
Oh, pre. Oh, yeah, probably.
Oh yeah.
And he said,
I love when people are like, there was a mass extinction event that destroyed all life of dinosaurs. I'm like,
The flood.
I'm like, we've known that for a long time.
You know what's sad to think about, which it won't affect our lives most likely, that there will be another, like, mass extinction event at some point,
Yeah, the end of the world.
or something. I'm just saying something, like we get hit by a meteor again. I mean, stuff like that.
so
you know?
I feel like
Yellowstone.
Yeah, we might get hit by it. Yeah, we might
Yellowstone, that's real, dude. That might actually kill us all.
No.
It would just
no,
kill the US.
It won't.
Yeah, all of us.
Yellowstone isn't that kind of volcano. You can read about this. It's not that kind of volcano.
The dude at Yellowstone told me it was. You tell
I've
me the
also
dude at
been to-
Yellowstone is
Yes.
a liar.
Yes.
The dude on TikTok told me.
They say
At
if
least the dude at Yellowstone, I think, holds up a little more than the dude on
they
TikTok.
think if it was going to erupt, it would have erupted like 2,000 years ago.
So they're saying it's overdue.
No, there's no such thing as being overdue for an eruption. That's not how volcanoes work.
The guy.
Chad Wonderly, volcano expert, everybody.
I prefer magma expert because that sounds a little cooler.
I literally, because there was this whole hubbub about one scientist came out and was like, Yellowstone is 4,000 years past due for an eruption. And then I went and read like a scholarly article about Yellowstone that was like, that's not true. It's a super volcano. It does not mean massive volcano. It means volcano that takes up a lot of space. It's not the flowing lava magma kind of volcano. It's the slowly, just under the crust, very slowly bubbling volcano.
Let's say for the sake of arguments, let's say that it's a real volcano.
Okay.
Oh, so it's a fake one at the moment.
So, like Mount St. Helens,
Uh-huh.
if a volcano erupted like that again, that changed the climate of the entire world for over a year. there was so much ash in the air. Like, the average temperature of the world was cooler for the rest of that year.
Fun fact, my dad went and helped clean up ash after it erupted
That's insane.
when he was in the army.
How do you clean that up?
You just move it.
You're like, this
So,
isn't going anywhere,
anyway-
and I'm not going to finish it.
So, two things. I've decided. So, I was watching this video again. It's a guy on TikTok. So,
Okay,
take
it's
it
real.
for what it's worth. But he was saying he made a map of like if it erupted.
Yeah, I
and
saw
it's a super
this one,
volcano,
too.
where
Saw this
all
one,
the
too.
areas that it would affect. And so he said like this little area. He said everything's just gone right there. He said in this area everyone's dead. Everything's like blown over. There was a bigger area, and it was like, this is gonna be all like a bunch of ash. This area has a chance to survive, and then outside of that, it was like whatever. So basically, so where we're at, all the way until like the last 50 miles of like North Carolina on the coast are in that ring.
Yeah.
So if that ever goes off, I'm packing bags. I'm just heading east. I'm like, I'm just gonna go east and like go to till I see the water. But if that were true, one other thing he said is that all the way down to Central America, almost to South America. Now, this is a little hard for me to believe, especially. He said that the eruption would be so big that windows would shatter that far away.
So, I think Pompeii, when it did its like final eruption, the one that killed everybody,
Yeah.
it released like toxic gas for a long time, like hours before that, and a ton of people died. And then the eruption that rained the ash down, that was so much that it literally like fossilized people. They think that they could have heard that in like the middle of Africa, and that was in Italy.
Wow. How crazy is that, dude?
Yeah.
Be breaking glass from, what state is that in?
Montana.
Montana?
And Wyoming.
Wyoming is where Yellowstone
Okay,
is.
Wyoming.
It goes
All the
into
way
Montana.
to freaking
It goes
whatever like the southernmost country in like Central America is. I don't know what it is, but way
Oh,
down there.
south.
Chile,
Chile's
Chile's
definitely
south.
not
down the side.
of South America.
Where's
Yeah.
Ecuador?
Ecuador's in Central America.
Nicaragua?
But it's far. It's far down there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in Central. Yeah. I think El
Doesn't matter.
Salvador,
We're
just
just
whatever.
beating a dead horse.
Yeah. Anyway, none of us know anything about geography. Oh, geography joke.
National Pornographic.
Shoot. Back to what I wanted to say a long time ago. I feel like the Bible, a lot of people take it word for word, and to an extent you should, but like I feel like a lot of people believe if it, kind of like the dinosaurs, if it's not in there, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And my biggest question is, like, so you have the whole thing at the beginning, which we know I'm not a master at knowing, but
the whole thing.
at the beginning,
Creation.
where you have Adam and Eve, they have Cain and Abel. What is it? Cain kills Abel, and then he finds a wife. Where did she come from?
What are you getting at here?
And they have a son, and he names a city after that son. Where did all the people for that city come from?
Adam and Eve,
Oh, so there's just thousands of kids from Adam and Eve walking around?
pretty sure.
Incest wasn't as big of a
Incest wasn't a problem.
It wasn't a problem back then.
So,
it wasn't a bad
Incest
thing
wasn't a
back
problem until like the 13 or 1400s.
But also,
I think.
what he's getting at is that the idea that
There were more people
The
in the
Bible is
garden
more
than
of-
just Adam and Eve.
they're not
No.
necessarily in the garden, but
No.
that the Bible is more of like a highlight reel of what's important, tracing Jesus's lineage. Now, there could have been more people at the beginning than Adam and Eve, but they
Well,
were the important ones to begin with.
I think the big, like, evangelical canon is that there were fallen angels on the earth during that time, and they bred with humans. And I know, because I just read it last week, there's a verse that says, the men of God took wives,
Yeah.
and that's where giants came from.
Yes,
It doesn't-
sons of. Yeah, I know.
It doesn't
getting
clarify
confused, yeah.
what men of God means, though.
Yeah.
So they don't know if that's like the direct lineage of Adam, people who were still close with God, and so he blessed them.
Sons of God and daughters of men. And
Yeah.
that's where the
Yeah,
You guys
whole,
ever
like,
heard of the Book of
giant.
Enoch?
Don't even.
Is that some Mormon?
It's supposed to be like
yeah.
it's supposed to be like the hidden, like one of the non-published books of the Bible.
in between the
And it
Old
talks
and New
all
Testament.
about the Nephilim,
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The Nephilim.
But also,
It's an interesting read, but
yeah.
David and Goliath were,
David specifically.
well, why him specifically?
Why
I feel like I know where you're going with this.
Where am I going?
You're gonna say Goliath was like one of those.
Well, no, because that was, I may not be chronologically accurate, Smooth, but that was after the flood, yeah?
Yes.
So where did he come from?
Chad.
What do you mean?
David or Goliath?
Goliath.
That was
Well, that's what he's
so
talking about.
long
Is
Yeah.
that after the flood, the daughters of men and the sons of God.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
that was before.
No, that was after. That was
Yeah.
after the flood.
That was my
Yeah, there's
question.
true. I think a lot of people. I don't know what I think. I don't have an opinion. I think a lot of people think Cain took one of his sisters, went out into the wilderness, where there were also fallen angels who were more or less masquerading as people, something along those lines, and that's where you get the whole thing. It's like these cities were built up. The other thing you have to remember is people were living like 400 years.
Yeah. Oh, dude, they're like 900 years.
Yeah.
Now, here's another thing, though. If you just were to read the Bible and take it like it is, I guess is the way to put it. I mean, it jumps pretty much from Adam and Eve to Noah real fast. So, obviously, like, God didn't make Adam and Eve, and then 2 years later, he's like, oh, this is just terrible.
All right, let's start from scratch.
There was
Let's
enough
rip it
people for
down.
him to be like, this is a problem.
Obviously, there's a long
Yeah.
amount of time.
Well, and Noah built the ark for 400 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Which is
time's a construct
crazy.
created by man. How long was a year then?
It's the same length.
365 days?
Yes.
whenever they wrote these
Oh, we can
translations...
get into. I don't want to get into.
I don't think. I don't know.
They've I'm pretty sure people
been
have
translated.
gone ahead and done the
yeah.
the math
Conversions.
to convert it, because the translation we have came from the Greek, and I think they were using something close to the calendar that we use now. So a lot of those conversions have been made, but some of them are like they still say cubit in the Bible, and like we know exactly how long that was, so they just say
Now,
cubit.
here's something
still.
interesting. So they didn't have leap days back then. And so apparently, I think we've talked about this, maybe not. I've mentioned Neil deGrasse Tyson a good amount of times on here. But he told about how, so you have every 4 years you have a leap year, and then like every 100 years, it's like you skip the leap year, and like every 1,000 years you do like something, because even if you do a leap year every 4 years, you'll still get off by a little bit. Mm-hmm. So every 100 years you have to take away a leap year to even it back out.
So what's the purpose of a leap year?
I was
Because
I don't
a
actually
year is
know.
only actually 365 and a third days long.
So if
They
we
didn't
never
get
did
the
that,
math
the days
exactly
would get
right.
off,
Gotcha.
like big time.
Yeah. In 12
So-
years, it'd be 3 days off. The whole calendar would be 3 days off. You'd be ending your year on the
29th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm
This
getting
year,
at is
I'd
back
rather
then
end
there's
it
probably a whole lot of
earlier. Yeah.
lost time.
Yeah, I mean, there probably is a lot of lost time.
So, ha!
Get down, atheists.
Yeah, but there's other things in the Bible that I like discussing, and I mean, being covered in tattoos and then being in a Christian band, like I've always gotten those comments about what's the Bible say about tattoos and how, and they always bring up Leviticus. And
Always.
I love discussing that because
Dude, people literally, that's like what Chad was saying. They will literally take it word for word only on that verse.
yeah,
Literally the surrounding verses
Yeah.
are like, don't wear cotton, don't eat meat.
Well,
Don't
and
cut
only,
your hair.
only
Yeah.
to throw it in our faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when we're like, okay, so you agree, like, gay marriage is wrong, they're like, ah! It's like, it's the same verse. Are we not talking about that anymore?
yeah. Because in the Bible it even says when Jesus comes back, he has a tattoo. So, there.
Yeah, what is it like on his thigh? And it's like,
Yeah.
what is it? Lord
It's
of
written
Lords
on
and
his
Kings
robe and his thigh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lord of
yeah.
Lord of Lords and King of Kings.
I wonder who did it.
It was a really cool artist.
What's that guy's name, man?
Josh
I had
Henderson.
Ed Hardy, is that his name?
Ed Hardy. Ed Hardy.
Ed Hardy.
I missed it by like
What?
5 seconds. I forgot the guy's
gosh.
name.
That's
He was
blasphemous.
like, who did it? I was
Oh
like,
my. Ed Hardy.
This is, we're
It was
blaspheming.
that script.
We're blaspheming.
Next question, though. Did Adam and Eve have belly buttons?
I'm sorry.
Probably
Actually,
not.
There was no
That's-
umbilical cord.
Ken
Did they have
Ham
belly
actually
buttons?
has a
Is that what the
book
purpose of
called
an
Did
umbilical
Adam
cord
Have a Belly
is?
Button?
That's where it goes.
Does he
Or
really?
belly button.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
I
That's where it
thought that was
goes.
a joke.
That is why you
No.
have a belly button.
No.
Yes.
Why?
For the umbilical
Why?
cord.
You have a
For the
kid.
umbilical cord.
Hey,
It's a
hey,
scar.
hey, he
Yes,
has a
yeah.
kid. He didn't know that.
Yes, I did. I didn't say. I said.
He's like, no, I did. I really
I
did.
said, is that its sole purpose?
Yes, it's a
that all-
scar.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, then
That's why some people have
maybe they
Audis
didn't.
because they did it wrong.
So, yeah, some doctor's gonna comment. Actually,
Actually,
Actually, it is very. It is. I gotta
your
say,
entire
I gotta
balance
say,
of your body would be off if you didn't have.
I'm gonna
the
say
belly
something here.
button.
Whenever I rub my belly button, if I've ever like rubbed it like really hard, I feel a tingling sensation.
What was that?
I don't want to
Think
know.
about
yeah,
I do.
Hey, I'm cutting this.
just how I found out about.
I'm cutting this. Do you know Phil of the Future? Did you watch that?
Oh,
And he didn't have a pinky toe, so in that one episode, he wears a
I forgot
prosthetic
about
pinky
that.
toe.
What?
Yes!
Yeah, that's
Yes!
canon. Because in the future, they don't need pinky toes for some reason.
I
That was the
remember
whole
that.
thing.
I'm living in the future.
Or big toe.
Have you seen?
I can't
no,
remember.
It's his little toe. I'm pretty sure.
I think it's pinky toe.
Or I don't know. Have you seen? Did you ever watch the Amanda Show?
Yeah.
I did. I watched like 3 episodes, and then they stopped airing it like right when I started watching it.
So they had a little bit on there called Moody's Point, and it was like a little drama, like kind of short that they would always do. And then like the dad on there, like he had to get his big toe removed, and like obviously your big toe kind of helps you keep your balance a little bit, but like he would always just like stand up and be like, I'm like fall over because he couldn't.
What's better, the Amanda Show or all that?
All that.
All that. It's like the kids
I
version of
remember,
SNL.
I remember all that more
I
than
feel
I
like
did
I feel like
Amanda show.
I was pretty young with all that. I feel like I watched the Amanda Show more, but I do
The
think I
Amanda
remember
show
liking
was a spin-off of all that.
And then Drake and Josh was kind of a spin-off from that.
the Amanda Show
From
was
the
for
Amanda
white
Show?
people.
I believe so.
Because
'Cause-
Josh was on the Amanda Show.
And Drake.
Drake was too?
Yeah,
Oh, I
both
didn't
of
know
them.
that.
Yeah, he was. He was the guitar. What's up?
And he was also
what
on
I'm
the,
talking
yeah,
about?
and then where he had the long hair or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Like Keanu
One
Reeves
time,
and Bill and Ted.
I was in high school. Like, is that guy?
It looked like a Spicoli.
Did you see they did the reading of that?
yes.
And Shia
Shia
LaBeouf
LaBeouf
was like stoned, bro.
Yeah.
And he played the part incredibly.
He was the only one acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like had his shirt off and stuff for the scene.
Yeah.
I want to watch his, but that made me. So I had a Boy Scout master that nicknamed me Spicoli, and my parents never let me watch the movie back then. So I just now got around to watching it, and I still don't know why I was nicknamed
Probably.
Spicoli.
Did you have really long blonde hair then? Still.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's probably why.
it.
It's likely.
But I
it.
wasn't a pothead then.
You are now.
Cut this out.
Well,
It smells like volume.
so I feel like in my friend group, I'm known for liking really bad movies.
So I've said this to more than one person, but you have a very, very consistent taste in movies, and all of them are terrible. And like critics agree that they're terrible, but the cool part is you know what you like. That's the
What
cool
is your
part.
It isn't a
favorite
bad
movies?
movie though.
Some of my favorites. Let's see, Signs, The Patriot, Armageddon, Pearl Harbor.
He's listing
No,
the
they're
ones
the-
people
the
know are
best
good.
of- yeah. That thing you do.
No, I got tons of crap at work when we were all talking about movies. They all said these movies are terrible.
Those
Oh,
ones you just
everybody
listed.
thinks those movies
All
are
of them
good.
except for The Patriot, they said was good.
What all did you just mention? Signs.
Signs.
Signs is amazing.
Signs is like-
Armageddon.
Armageddon
That's
is not a
space-
good movie.
is that the space
yeah, that's
one?
not
Yeah.
a good movie. That's the movie
wait,
where they
well.
train oil drillers to
Drillers.
become
Yeah. Okay,
astronauts
yeah, that's kinda
and not
trash.
astronauts to become oil drillers.
That wouldn't make good TV.
Where's the drama? Where's the drama?
There is a reservoir of oil.
Who
We need all the
That's
oil.
directed
might
that?
die.
the premise.
was
They all
was that
died.
Michael Bay?
Huh.
Was that Michael Bay?
Yeah, I like Michael
So,
Bay movies.
somebody-
so is Pearl Harbor.
That's-
Somebody
Yeah.
brought that to Michael Bay's attention as they were filming. I can't remember who it was, but they were like, "So doesn't it make more sense to blah 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 and then blah blah blah?" And he was like, "Just shut up." Like that literally happened. Like that's on record as
hilarious.
happening.
What was the suggestion?
The oil drillers and astronauts thing.
What was it?
Wouldn't it be easier to train astronauts to drill oil than to train...
Well, they weren't drilling oil. They were just drilling the hole to put a bomb down there
oil.
to blow it up.
Yeah.
But anyway,
so if y'all gonna jump on me for saying
I like Michael Bay. I like most of the Transformers movies.
After
Would you say they're good though?
Fantastic.
The first one and the third one are good.
I like the lens
Second
flare.
one's one of my favorites.
Also love Shia. So
That's
Disturbia.
I saw a tweet that reminds me. A tweet said, "The odds of me getting killed by Shia LaBeouf are low, but never zero."
And then was it that video of that motorcycle guy pulling up at the stoplight and he looks
in his
left
Silverado.
and Shia LaBeouf's already staring at him in the car next to him? It's terrifying. He's like not smiling either. He's just like... It's really scary.
Yeah, I think the first and third Transformers are pretty good.
I mean, I'll say this, dude. Signs hits different.
But anyway, yeah, I like the Transformers movies. One of the reasons I like them is, to my knowledge, Michael Bay is kind of a car guy, and so am I. And I like quite a few of the cars that are in there.
It's not a good reason to like a movie.
There's also explosions.
That is a weird reason to like
That's
a
a
movie.
pretty good reason.
There's also explosions. How about that? There's cars and explosions.
You have to sit down and
But
like...
Jay Leno's also a car guy. Do you watch anything he's ever in?
I've watched some of his Jay Leno's Garage.
Well, because that's...
Checkmate, bro.
Okay, so you have to sit down and watch a movie 5 times end to end. What movie is it?
5 times in a row?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Just
Goodfellas, dude.
on loop. Goodfellas.
His is always Goodfellas.
I've done it with A Knight's Tale.
Wow. I could do that.
I've
I
watched
could do
it's
that.
amazing,
I've
dude.
watched Night at the Smithsonian 7 times.
In a row?
No, but 7 times.
That's not even a lie.
No. So
In a movie theater,
I've
7 times.
You went to... Okay, you went to
He
see
worked
Night at the
at a
Smithsonian.
movie theater.
My mom did.
So we drove to California and we had a DVD player in the van that we took and we watched A Knight's Tale on loop.
Because that was the only movie you had in there.
I could do
No,
that.
we had tons of other movies, but we watched it. We
Oh,
watched
you told
it
this.
17 times.
You told this.
On the way there and back. Have I told it before?
So,
Like way long ago at my house.
well. But now they can see my face whenever I
Yeah,
say it.
yeah.
Knight's Tale.
our family movie that we always just had in the DVD player when I was a kid, because we had one of those old conversion vans and it had the bogus TV and the thing worked sometimes. We had
I remember.
we had
Monty's
Emperor's
Python.
New Groove.
Monty's
Oh, wow.
Emperor's New Groove was the movie that
I
was
really, so when I was a little, I'd go and stay 2 weeks, 3 weeks at a time.
What did you just say?
When I was little, I would go stay
Okay.
2 or 3 weeks at a time at my
You good?
I don't know.
He gone.
I think I had a stroke.
very
so
possible.
I would go
mistake.
down to my grandparents and stay there for 2 or 3 weeks. And my grandparents were like really churchy. Like they didn't believe in TVs, so they didn't have a TV in their house. So I would pack, or my mom had. Listen, just
That's
we'll
really
get there
churchy.
later, okay? We'll get there later, okay?
I have a question now.
Is it about the TV?
How do you not believe in, like, they don't believe they exist, or like, what?
I
How
was
do you?
going to say that, but I was going to be polite and wait until you
How
told
do you-
the story.
how do you-
No. So they thought that
The
not that it was a
radiations.
sin to have a TV, but that it led to sin. Okay. Listen, this is besides the point. Okay, this is all besides the point.
This is the point.
It's semi-related. So, my mom would always pack me her little DVD player. That's back when you had a little DVD player. It was like a mini laptop.
It came in a little
It was like
case.
it was
Yep.
like $50 for this piece of crap.
Yeah. And I would always bring like 3 movies, but I just end up watching the same one over and over again for some reason. And one time I specifically remember probably 25 times, somewhere around there, I watched Rocky 4.
Wow.
I watched Ivan Drago kill Apollo Creed.
Not even the
25
first
times.
one.
I liked 4.
If he dies, he
dies.
From a 10-year-old's perspective, you think I'm gonna like 1 or 4 better.
The first one's kind of the classic, though.
4 has a
Again,
robot in it.
From 10, being a 10-year-old. That's like telling a 10-year-old to watch The Godfather.
That's true. I remember one Christmas, my cousin got, and this might like bring back a deep memory for you guys. I don't know. My cousin got a DVD player, and it came with March of the Penguins. Do you guys remember that year?
I remember that movie.
I remember that year.
I watched it at least. I think I saw it once.
It was like all anybody would talk about for a year is March of the freaking Penguins.
And who did the voice for it?
I think it was
Morgan Freeman?
Yeah.
Tom Bergeron.
I was going to say Gordon Freeman. That's from Half-Life. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Unreal.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but if we're going on like a movie, like if you can only watch this one movie for the rest of your life, for me it's Goodfellas. That's entertaining to me every single time.
Okay.
I see.
It's such a good movie.
I think mine would
like
be The Patriot.
Patriot's also a good choice.
See,
so many people say The
for
Patriot's
the
their
rest of my
favorite
life.
movie.
I couldn't
You
do
don't
that.
like it?
It's okay.
Okay.
It feels like a school
Sorry,
movie.
I didn't know you were American.
It feels like a school
piece of
movie.
garbage.
You know what I mean? Sorry,
Feels like a
Charlie.
school movie? Sorry, Charlie.
Go ahead. Watch a movie end to end.
Oh, see, I can't do that. I can't. Like, I watch a movie once and I don't ever watch it again. So, there's not really. I mean,
All right,
there's
tonight
other
we're
movies-
watching Goodfellas again because we watched it like a month and a half ago.
Okay.
It's like
fall
a
asleep.
it's like a 2.5 hour commitment.
Yeah.
Do you always fall asleep in movies?
No, my
Oh,
wife
okay.
does.
Oh, okay.
Although I
It
remember
annoys me. I'll stay up like.
Yeah,
I'll
women
stay
are
up
the
and
worst
watch a
about it,
movie.
dude.
another set of movies I really liked, but I never got into it until I was in 10th grade. Was Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
Lord of
yeah.
the Rings slaps.
So the first time I ever saw it, I was in history. It was the week before our big final, and he gave us this huge packet that was worth up to 50 points of our final. So if you got a 40 on the final, if you just did terrible, you got a 90 if you did the whole packet. So he was like, "All right, I'm just gonna throw this on while you guys are doing it." And he threw on Lord of the Rings. Didn't do any of the packet. Watched Lord of the Rings. Freaking loved it. Got like 40 minutes from the very end, and I had to buy the movies to watch the ending because we got through the whole week. So therefore, I watched the end, and I really liked it. By the way, didn't do any of the packet. Got a 92. Pretty happy with that.
One time I was in world history my junior year. Dude, so we had a coach.
With who?
His name's Coach Jester. I don't know if y'all had him.
I remember.
Yeah, so he was like super, which again, all of like the history classes that the football coaches had to teach because they had to teach were all just ridiculous. But, you know, I didn't pay attention because he didn't make it interesting. So I had like a D in there, and my parents, you know, weren't about a D. Like a C was okay. And literally I had to get, or I might have had an F. We had a final project that we had to do. It wasn't a final. It was a final project that we had to do. And it was no final. It was just this project. And it was worth like 400 points. And the only way I could get a C is if I got 400 points.
Oh.
So, dude, I went ham on it. I got 400 points.
$3.99 when
It was on a drummer. It was on Blake Richardson from Between the Buried and Me. It was just all about him.
And that tied into history.
That's the greatest thing, dude. He gave
Because it all happened in the past.
He gave us this project. He's like, this can be about literally anything. Anything. You could tell he did not want to be teaching that class, dude.
Nice.
He was like, this can be literally about anything.
Wait. Are you telling me football coaches aren't the best teachers?
The only good one was Moreland. I had Moreland for psychology.
Your football coaches
What's the
might not be the best teachers.
Well, I know they're not.
Oh.
I'm just saying, like, you can tell
Football.
that guy. You can tell that guy really didn't want to be that. That's so stereotypical. Okay, you're being
No,
racist.
we had
We
a-
literally
racist.
saw the coach at Central pick up a football and go, football, just to himself.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So yeah, and he was, oh gosh, he was old, just like so
Hartsfield.
so old.
Hartsfield. There's no way he's alive, right?
He is. He came into the liquor store like 2 months ago. He was like 80 when we were there.
How long do you think it's been since junior high? It's been like
So
10
that means
years.
he's 83 now.
I know.
Shut
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm gonna. We had the special ed teacher died while we were there.
That's lit.
She sang that song at the America Day. She was like, America, where the Mississippi River runs wild. Do you remember that one? With the whole special ed class, and they were like
Oh no!
like behind her.
No.
Did you just do that?
I mean, that's exactly how it was. Remember at Harbor, they had Veterans Day.
Yes! Yes, I think we've told this story. I don't know, but it is the worst thing that I haven't done, but that I've experienced.
I know. This is so funny.
Chad, tell it. Tell it again. Tell it again.
For all of you who may not have heard this story, there was... So we had a Medal of Honor Day, not just like a Veterans Day thing. These guys earned the Medal of Honor. Yeah. Okay?
It was Veterans Day.
They weren't losers.
They were Vietnam War Medal of Honor veterans.
So these guys are up there.
Just Vietnam?
One of them was Vietnam, I think.
The one in question.
The one
was
that was
Vietnam.
at the microphone and the moment.
That's what makes this so bad.
Okay, continue.
So so we're all, everybody's in the what's that big room?
Gym.
The PAC.
Yeah, PAC.
Performing Arts Center.
Okay.
And so we're all in there. These guys are up there on the mics, and they talk. They kind of talk, and then they start doing questions. They answer a good handful of questions, and then somebody else is about to answer a question. They're kind of like, he's like, but they're taking the microphone to him. But then this special ed child gets up and just yells, "I have a question! I have a question!" And everybody's like, "Okay." So they take it up to him, and then he gets the mic and he goes, "This is boring," and everybody just went like it was one of those things, like it happened, and it was like I had like an out of body experience, and it was like,
and he didn't stop. He didn't stop. He didn't go into anything. He just started screaming profanity.
And then he got up and started walking towards him like he was going to fight this dude.
And pointing at him, screaming profanity. And they had to grab him and drag him out like they were going to put him in the back of the kill van. I mean, like, it was like that.
I wasn't there for that.
No, you weren't.
But I can only imagine. I know it's like at the time... It's like, oh my god, I feel like I'd be laughing. As they're taking that dude out,
I was laughing, and then I got mad because I was like, this might be controversial, but I was like, I don't think it's right to leave special ed kids out of stuff. But if it's something really sensitive like that, in a volatile situation,
with an open mic,
with a veteran who was mocked and spit on and called a baby killer when he got back from the war, it's like don't bring them, don't let them know there's something going on. They're not gonna feel left out. Second, don't give him the mic.
This is a great idea.
Don't give him the mic. And it's like, I might be a jerk, but it went wrong. I'm right.
It was definitely one of those things, like it happened, and I remember sitting there, I was kind of like, is this happening? Like I feel like it was one of those things, it was like one of those things that's like, you ever gotten in trouble for something that was like really bad and your whole body kind of got warm? Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
That's how I felt. Yeah. I was like, holy shit, is this happening? What's going on?
I felt like I was in trouble.
Yeah. Like everybody there as a collective unit was going down.
This is the weirdest description of that feeling. Have you guys ever seen the thing where it's like a bunch of like 1,000 nails and you can press into it and you see like you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It feels like you just laid on one of those. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Yes, I'm wrong. Okay, I was saying it really feels like you're just like, and you just like lay on all those at once, and then you get hot.
Okay, this is really weird, but we're talking about it. Has somebody ever told you something that made you so immediately, viscerally angry, like it was something you thought might happen, and part of your brain was prepared for it, but they tell it to you, and like not only do you turn red with anger, but you feel your ears drain?
This is so specific.
Has that ever, like, I mean, 2 times in my life I've been so angry that I felt my ears drain.
I don't even know what that means.
I feel like I've gotten like so mad, like I almost got like a similar feeling to like is this even happening right now?
You're just awestruck.
Yeah.
At your own rage.
Yeah.
It's one of those times was Lil Speedy. Seriously, one of them was Lil Speedy.
Which please just tell any one of them right now.
Office Depot?
Yeah, any.
Have I told you the one about the guy that came in after hours to go to the bathroom?
No.
Okay, this is a great one.
Fresh story. Here we go.
Great one.
So it was like November, Little Rock. I'm working at Office Depot. I'm closing. He sent everybody home because it's late. It was 8:30. The manager, Gerald, who's a no-nonsense, older African American guy. He was the best guy to work with there because he was the only one that wouldn't take corporate side in every situation. He would be like, I would just rather you not be in the store, you know, when it came to rude customers. So it's literally just me and Gerald. It's 9, and so we close. So I go to the front. I turn the knob on the automatic door to turn it off, so it just doesn't open when you go up to it. Not locked, just off. So you would have to be a moron to get in the store. You would have to be too dumb for your own good to be able to get into the store because you'd have to pry the doors open. So, not only that, the lights turn off at 9. So it's on like, we have like emergency light levels of lighting. Yeah. Enough to do like the paperwork, but the huge industrial lights overhead are off. And nobody's in the store. Yeah. Nobody's at the counters. Nobody's at the registers. Nobody is visible. So I have to go get the carts. We have 1 cart corral. So I have to, there's a little ramp that goes up to the door. So I leave the door open a crack so I don't get the carts up to the door and then have to run around and pry the doors open and run back around before they all slide back down into the parking lot. I leave it open a crack so I can wedge them in the crack and then go and pull it open and then push them all the way in. So when I say a crack, I mean like this big. I mean like this big. Just enough to see through, like with one eye. Yeah. And they're glass. You can see inside that there's no lights and nobody in there. So I go out, I get the carts. My back is turned 45 seconds. I walk back up, do my thing, get all the carts inside, go to my station. I'm doing my paperwork. Gerald comes over. He's like, just do that checklist and then we're going to get out of here. And I'm like, okay. I did checklist, sweep, whatever. He's in the back. He's counting the drawers. So I go over. It's over by the office furniture, office chairs. I'm sitting in an office chair. I hear footsteps.
Is this place haunted?
I hear footsteps. I'm like, Gerald's in the back. I'm like, and I'm like, I hear him again. I hear somebody walking around. And I look up and I'm like, the lights are off. And the door's locked because I locked it when I came back in. And then I'm like, Gerald's trying to leave with it. Like he can't find me because I'm in the office chairs and not in the print section. So I go back over to the print section. I'm standing there. He's not over there. I'm like looking around. I see somebody's freaking head walking in between the aisles.
Are they just browsing?
Just browsing.
I thought this was a story about them having to go to the bathroom.
We're getting there.
Oh, okay.
Just browsing. And so I get on my little intercom. I'm like, Gerald, there's somebody in here. He's like, he doesn't ask who or where or what they're doing. He's like, how'd they get in? And I was like, that's what I'm thinking. I was like, I locked it. And so in the 45 seconds I had my back turned, going to get the carts, he pried the doors open and must have just closed them behind him with his hands and went into the store where all the lights are off and there's no employees or customers.
Are you sure he wasn't in there when you
He wasn't in there. We checked.
Okay.
We checked before we locked the doors. And though if he was in there, it's weirder because the lights would have gone off on him.
This is bad. It's not worse.
And so he's like, Gerald's like, just let him shop, I guess. But the bad part is we're on these old IBM registers and they turn off automatically at 9. And so when he checks out, we're going to have to wait for the register to boot. Oh. And it's satellite connected.
Oh, wow. Oh.
And so Gerald comes out and he finds the guy. He's like, we're closed, man. And it's just some old guy. And he comes over and Gerald's like escorting him to the counter because it's like, who knows what this dude's going to do.
Does he have like stuff?
He has stuff. He has printer ink and paper. And so I hit the button on the thing and I'm like, this is going to be a minute because it turns off automatically at 9. I'm like making my point, you know.
When we close.
Yeah. And so I do the thing. I'm like, whoop, whoop, and then he pays. I'm like, it might take a second because after hours it takes a minute. You know, just being real not nice about it. And then so he gets his bag and he gets all his stuff. He's like, can I use the restroom?
No!
And I look at Gerald. I'm like, Literally, my mouth is open. He's like, "Can I use the restroom?" I'm like, I don't even look at him. I look at Gerald, and Gerald's like, "Sure, man, I guess." And I was like,
What? Gerald!
"Oh, Gerald,
Gerald.
I was gonna follow this guy out." And so he goes to the bathroom. Wasn't a number one.
Oh
How long
no!
was he in
It was
there?
like 7 minutes.
Which is an eternity, I'm sure.
The lights are out. We're done with work. We're just waiting for this stranger to take a dump.
Please tell me the lights in the restroom were off.
They were. We cleaned it already. And so he comes out, and Gerald walks up to him, gets behind him, and walks behind him out. Like he's like escorting him out with his presence. And I was so pissed. I was so pissed at Gerald. I was like, you let him go to the bathroom? You let him? Really?
I got a question. So, do you guys feel like you take long poops?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I can attest that Chad
Dude,
does.
I just get in there, I just chill. I do it at work too.
I guess-
Especially at the
I guess,
liquor
yeah.
store. I'm in there for like
So
15
I
minutes
used
just
to
chilling.
find
Me, myself, and I.
Well,
vibe.
so nowadays, like, I feel like I'm pretty quick, but I do like to just sit there sometimes.
Just like to
Sometimes.
vibe myself, dude.
But like when I was younger, before I even had a phone, like, dude, my poops would be like 10 minutes, and
I never had long poops.
and sometimes longer, depending on how my belly was acting. And I remember one time, I guess that's not normal for many people, but one time when I moved to Springdale in 7th grade, they were talking about, bathroom passes and all that crap. And they were like, bathroom, you need to go to the bathroom and come back. I had someone that went to the bathroom the other day and they were gone for 5 minutes. And I was like, I sure hope I don't have to poop at school.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm definitely being longer than 5 minutes.
They were absolute Nazis about that. But I did find, and bleep this name, future me, I found literally asleep in a stall one time during class.
Nice.
So I was like, this checks out.
You know what's crazy
But-
is so with the exception of elementary, for some reason elementary is an exception. It's heaven. It's Candyland. 6th grade to senior year and even college, if you go to college, it's like you start at 6th grade, it's like a Nazi camp, like literally. But like the further you go up, the chiller it gets. Why is that? Why in 6th and 7th grade do they treat you like you're in Auschwitz?
Well, because boys have like really poor impulse control at that age.
Good lord.
And it's like they just think you're going to go to the bathroom and then
Well, it's like everything.
Just never come
and
back.
start shooting up heroin.
like
I mean,
everything, like I got
That's what I did at 6th grade.
I got our phone. Me and my friend, I got our phones taken away, and I'm gonna save you all the details. They went through.
I think you told about
They
it.
went through the
Yeah,
call
the
records.
pic. Yeah, the.
And then they pulled me and him aside and like, oh, we got you now. We got you now. I was like, what is this? I was like, this is like a drug bust? Like they didn't tell us what it was. Like, oh, we got y'all now. Like we were some wanted criminals that they were been trying to get. And like we have you on school time using your phones. Yeah, you're in big trouble.
Should be like, yeah, make sure.
I was like, all right.
there's like a resource officer. Yeah, make sure you get that down.
It's like, yeah, I was calling my mom to get me the heck out
One
of here.
time they tried to bully us with the resource officer because me and this same guy, we had a math teacher. It was his first year teaching, and we kind of like to mess with him a little bit, be honorary students, kids to him. And so we looked him up in the phone book one time, and we called his house, and we just like left a voicemail of us pretty much just laughing because we didn't know what to say. And he found out it was us, or we said it was us. Like we were just joking around. We told him that it was us, and this dude went and told the principal, and the principal came and got us, and they were like bullying me and my friend, and they got the officer, and they made the officer tell us that we could go to jail for it. So I'm sitting there, a naive little kid, at lunch detention, eating my meal, thinking this is my last meal before they take me away.
Yeah, and this is why you never went and got the Yu-Gi-Oh card. You were very determined.
So that was elementary.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
You remember at the bizarre fights at Central? I'm gonna get this wrong, but do we need to start those?
Well,
Yeah, probably. Just go ahead.
we're at like an hour 20.
Okay, we'll wrap this up real quick.
No, I think you mean BB boop, BB boop,
Beep boop beep boop.
BB boos.
The weird fights at Central, I'll just say his first name, Buck. Do you remember those fights?
I was front and center for that, dude.
And he had a cast, and he literally was beating the kid over the head with the cast.
Man. Central was lit.
And then we left that summer, and he stole a semi out of the Walmart parking lot and went to jail.
Yeah, so like Central
How
and
old
Ninth
was
Southwest.
he?
grade.
Ninth grade?
Yeah.
Central
Still a
and
semi?
Yeah.
Central and Southwest
aren't
were like
easy
the
to
marquee middle
drive.
schools in Springdale. Like usually you have like one nice one and one kind of crappy one. Like those are both just garbage.
Every junior high in Springdale is really trashy.
There's only like 3, right? Well, I guess
There's
they
there's
probably added another
3 junior highs in one city. Yeah,
one. They're all
that's a
trash.
lot.
I know.
It's weird. I can name most of the high schools around here, but I can't name all the junior highs.
Literally every high school is Fayetteville High School,
Yeah.
Springdale High School,
Harbor High School.
Rogers High
Rogers,
School. That's the
Go
only,
west.
Rogers East and
I
West.
get it,
Yeah.
but that's like the only. Those ones are easy.
Maybe,
Then
I
there's like
guess,
for the
yeah.
elementaries is worse. There's 100 elementaries in
And
Springdale.
they all look the exact same.
They do.
Dude, they are like an
Yeah.
exact layout
It's
of
like
each
they got
other.
a prefab of all the stuff and just put it in different areas.
I do think
Straight
they
up.
copied Bernice Young for all of them because that was like one of the first ones, and then
The
Yeah,
only one,
no-
the only one that's
all
different is
of them was
Walker.
yeah.
That one was
Oh, because that one's
smaller.
freaking old as dirt.
Yeah, they're renovated.
Like, oh my gosh.
Anyway, those were crazy.
All right, well, I want you to tell one more story and we'll wrap this up. I want you to tell the one about the homeless guy setting up shop.
Okay, well this is topical because we were talking about Gerald, but again, Gerald, no nonsense. Also an African American guy, which is the only reason this went down the way it did. Because there were like 2 or 3 homeless people that would like hang out in front of the shopping center where the Office Depot was. One of them was a woman, and she would take the bus there every day and then go somewhere at the end of the day. But she would come in and like, we sold batteries for the phones, like pre-charged phone battery things.
For like little drop phones.
Well, she would buy one, charge her phone outside, and then come in and return it. But it was opened. I mean, she did that like 4 times. We're just hemorrhaging money at this point. She also took headphones down and then went to the bathroom and put them in her shirt and came out. And I was like, she just stole headphones. And my manager was like, yeah. Just again,
we know the rule on that.
You can't do anything. Anyway, this one homeless guy who was like the kind of guy where it's like, okay, that's why he's homeless, because it was just like you could not tell what he was saying, talking way too fast, hair is just everywhere, just like a certified crazy man. And he just comes in one day, brings all his stuff in right into the toner aisle, flings out his sleeping bag, puts all his stuff down, lays down on his sleeping bag just in the middle of the aisle.
Sets up shop right there.
That's just where he's living right now. And Gerald comes out and he's like, if you don't get your hard, I'm gonna break my foot off in it. And he's
Gerald
like,
said that?
Yeah. And meanwhile, he's not only yelling at the guy, he's pushing him out the door. And it's like noon
I was gonna
on
say,
a
was
Saturday.
This in store hours? That's
yeah.
awesome.
And he's just like pushing him out the door. And I'm like, watching them go across, I'm like, that's Gerald. He's like, that's Gerald, and that's the crazy guy. And all the customers are like, and then the guy left, and the cops didn't have to come, and everybody just kept shopping.
Side note, I wonder what the amount of places is that you could just take something and get away with it.
Most of them.
Yeah.
I mean, like not
Good to know.
not a pawn shop. They'll just shoot you, but that's it.
We had a lady come into the liquor
Oh.
store the other day who was like, sorry, I don't know, he said this, it made me remind us, it's really short. She came in and she was like, hey, I'm walking to New York, can I get an energy drink? she wanted us to buy her one.
I'm walking to New York. Nice.
Did she look like fresh?
No,
Okay, like maybe she had been walking for a while.
maybe.
I would be like, and you just started? Like today was the day?
Well, and so like, one of the managers just gave her one of like the Mac Doodles waters or something like that. They're like 80 cents. It's whatever. He just gave it to her so she'll leave. And then she started walking around like outside, like talking to different customers and stuff like that. And then she started asking some customers if they have a map. Like, I guess maybe she actually just is actually walking up there. And so eventually one of the managers walks out because she starts asking these people for a map. He's like, ma'am, get off the property or we're going to call the cops. And she's like, he's like, no, get off the property or we're calling the cops. And so she just kind of like it was like she walks, but she kind of like
the Charlie Brown music
she's been
playing.
like defeated.
Yeah.
Like, And then she walked off.
That sounds like certified crazy person activities to me.
All right.
She just
All right.
walked into New
And with
York.
that,
All right.
I don't know, dude.
we're out.
Stay safe out there, ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
like a 25-hour
And,
drive.
Our Sober October starts Thursday.
Yep, this is the last Monday
We'll
for this
see how
month.
they're holding up next week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll get a full
We're both
recap.
gonna have like half our hair gone. We're gonna go full Britney Spears. Like,
Chad's like
Scratching.
the ants.
All right.
This is what Imagine
Later.
the World looks like.